welcome to the Witchy Hour. This is Tom, your host, Witchy Tom, the fire troll on a roll, and don't you forget it. Well, Witchy Tom has been up to some wicked naughtiness offline. Witchy Tom was trying to check something out in the bartering section of Craigslist, and Witchy Tom came up with a new mission in his life. Besides just reporting the news, Witchy Tom is now going on a search and destroy mission for all those nasty, terrible things that people put on Craigslist, which we will get into in a minute. But the topic of our show is, why did you put that out there? Whether it's on social media, whether it's on Craigslist, whether whatever, why people choose to put mad things that they do on those that they shouldn't. Right now, what's sparking up in the news? Okay, we got something wild and otherwise vivacious. The city of Tampa, and I'm going to read this verbatim when I get to it. The city of Tampa has come up with a new and electrifying thing. If you wish to protest the Republican National Convention, they have instituted a lottery, and the bingo balls decide the RNC lineup. Union is a big winner. Ooh, wow. So here's what I get. In the United States right now, your whole entire future as to being like the ability to express yourself freely in the city of Tampa is completely contingent on dependent on bingo balls. B34, next number I-75, bingo. But anyway, bingo balls decide RNC protest lineup. Union is a big winner. This according to the Tampa Bay staff writer Rick Danny Danielson. Tampa, from the city of Tampa, city officials played a little RNC bingo Friday morning, and the SEIU, also known as the Service Employees International Union, came up the winner. Ooh, big surprise. How many people did you pay, SEIU? Using a rotating bingo cage and a set of balls, this is what it says, people. Using a rotating bingo cage and a set of balls borrowed from the David Barksdale Senior Citizen Center, officials held a lottery determining the picking order of the protest groups used for wanting to use parks during the Republican National Convention. An intern at the city attorney's office turned the cage. I have to continue taking a drag off my cigarette. This makes me just so excited. Hold on. The City Hall's television program carried the procedures live, and Assistant Attorney Marcio Rodriguez served as the morning's game show host. Holy shit. I didn't realize that city of Tampa has such a budget crisis, but these crazy bastards actually had time to host their own game show. And you're the next contestant on Freedom of Speech. Come on down, SEIU. You're the winner. And guess what? You get a brand new car. Okay, let's roll on this further. B3, Rodriguez announced, making SEIU the winner among 5 groups that had applied to hold the event in Lynx Gaslight Square Park on August 27th, the first day of the convention. The union, based in Washington, D.C., expects 1,000 people in all its days of rallies. Tampa officials had consulted their counterparts in Denver and St. Paul's, the sites of national conventions, 4 years ago, on how to settle potential conflicts between groups and that wanted the same park on the same day. The city wanted, this is a quotation, city really wanted our permitting system as bias-free, as random as possible. Really, hold on, let me interject. Rodriguez, shove a toothpick up your ass because that's as small as your dick is, you spineless coward. How can you try to say, really, that it's non-biased? Where was the ability for other groups that want to protest to have even fucking known to have launched this in, unless you gave special calls to your little buddies there? But this is the uncensored Occupy madman, the Occupy gangster, Witchy Tom, just going off his chain. Really, you stupid bastard? You're telling me that you gave an equal opportunity, like, let me continue your quotation, that way every group was given an equal opportunity to access our parks during the week of the RNC. Give me a fucking break. There is no right, no rule, and no possibility in the world that we should have to say, oh, please, let me beg of you, wonderful city. Let me ask you, let me crawl on your hands and knees and just say, can I please protest on that day? Pretty please, with sugar on top, please? No, dude, Get over your little fucking ego trip, because it's really, really hard up. I just think this is so cute, and really, Witchy is very sorry that he's getting so terribly political now. But look, these people are literally playing a bingo balls for people to go down there and protest. Now, the first alternative to Gaslight Square on that day was for the coalition to march on the Republican National Convention. This was ball G55. Ooh. They're playing with balls too much. I don't want to go into that now, but later in the program. The coalition has labor backing, raising the possibility that it and SEIU might join forces to hold a single event. Oh, really? It's so nice to see sellouts combine their efforts. Way to go, guys. But that one city official hopes might make both groups happy. On the other hand, the coalition expects to draw 5,000 participants with a maximum capacity at Gaslight Square Park is 4,642. The second alternative was for Morning in America, the project created by a pair of artists in Brooklyn who carved out a 20-foot block out of ice, said middle class, and then let it melt in the summer sun, which actually, you know what, that is pretty goddamn cute. I haven't heard of these people before, but that is really cute. Also decided Friday, Morning America will get priority for the MacDill Park on August 22nd. Several other groups applied for the same park. Pray for Tampa Bay, that was both before. Ended up with a choice between two parks, which is Washington Street Park and Herman Messel Park. Herman Massey. I can't say it right. I'm sorry. I'm from New York. Get over there. From Brooklyn, Coney Island. Forget about it. And that was for a nonpartisan prayer vigil in August 27th. Now, look, I'm a Catholic book on Facebook. I'm naughty by nature, but, Wiki has his superstitions, too. But come on, please, you're going to pray during the RNC. What are we praying for, people? Is prayer really going to help stop these fascists, take away your freedoms? Which he doesn't want to get too political. He's been on 2 political shows today. He's very sorry. But some of the bigger parks on the list was McFarley Park, which was 30 acres, Picnic Island Park, which is 96 acres, Al Lopez Park, which is 132 acres, are outside the downtown event zone that the city created for the event, which is the clean zone, not the event zone. Don't sugarcoat it, press people, for just the fascist sake. But in any case, I love this. Now listen, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. You can be listening to my show. But these people are crazy. Look, just from a conservative viewpoint, or maybe if you're a Republican, can you really justify the Republican Party, the Republican National Party, giving away $50 million of donated money by its contributors and otherwise constituents to give to a city to host an event? Take money out of politics. It's preposterous. If I was donating to the Democratic Party or an independent party or the Republican Party, I'd be furious if $50 million was taken out instead of endorsing your candidates or anything like that. You're going to take that $50 million and you're going to pay off a city so that you can have your own private party? No, dude, come on. Everybody has the right to party because this is a free country. Witchy is sorry. It's madness. This makes Witchy mad. Moses mad. But in any case, the lottery does not close the opportunity for protesters to use city parks. Tampa officials plan to continue accepting application on a first-come, first-served basis as long as they have open slots at parks. Groups with fewer than 50 people do not need to have a permit to use a park. City officials also are reserving times for groups to march in an official parade route that has yet to be announced. And the city will create a protest area that will be known as the public viewing area. Now, look, hold on. Let me just stop, because Witchy's getting into like a fever state. They're going to create a public viewing area in Tampa? Is this the zoo? Don't see the animals. You can make eye contact. You can make eye contact. Don't be afraid to make eye contact with the animals, but don't feed them. Whatever you do, do not feed the animals because they could get mad. Stop making me mad. It's like giving candy to buffoons. It's like waving a piece of meat in front of a lion. Whatever you do, don't approach the cage. I mean, really, people. I mean, I'm not a lunatic. I'm very hyped up because I like to keep my audience riveted. But how can you really, really expect that the city will create a protest area, officially known as the public viewing area? Is this for real? Are these people high? Are they? I think they are. Witchy Tom will take calls on this if anybody wants to call. Witchy broadcasts during the witchy hours, so he never expects people to be up. But the area code is area code 646-478-4906. Witchy Tom is actually becoming almost a professional as a radio broadcaster. I had a wonderful interview with a gentleman before who helped kick out a corrupt politician out of the House of Representatives back in the early 1980s, but Witchy Tom has had too much of a dose of caffeine. He's not using any other drugs, and sadly he has no cannabis, no alcohol, and no woman, so he can't have any enjoyment in life. But Witchy Tom's just playing. The main thing Witchy Tom is throwing on next is he'll continue the article about the bingo balls, the set of bingo balls that was borrowed from a senior citizen's home. Now let Witchy continue. Now, the city will create the protest area, officially known as the public viewing area, within sight and sound of the Tampa Bay Times Forum and the site of the convention that will be open to all. No reservations required. Around the clock during the RNC. Now, believe me, you will see poor Witchy Tom out there every damn day. Unfortunately, maybe his counterparts from the formerly Occupy, or Oculi, as I like to say, Tampa might be there as well. But Witchy Tom is definitely wanting to see this in person. Still, a mere 10 groups have applied to hold about 30 events during the 27th to 30th convention. We're still very surprised and a little underwhelmed by the number of responses, but we still expect many protesters to come and may take advantage of our public viewing area of protests on our sidewalks and on other city properties where a permit is not required. Winners of the lottery will receive a letter and an email from the city giving them until June 29th to accept or reject the park that has been offered to them. If they accept, they will have to accept the site plan so that city officials can ensure that temporary structures or tents are safe and up to hurricane conditions. Oye me, but they want to let tents or temporary structures there? This is very sexy. This is very sexy fresh, let me tell you. The city of Tampa allowing tents downtown? Oye, coño. I love it. They're going to set up tents and structures. Now, what is going to happen when that goes? RNC orgies are on the way. I'm sorry. I had to put it out there. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. This show is for mature audiences, and I should actually change that because I'm going to get in trouble with this poor radio show. But the RNC Park events will be non-exclusive, meaning that members of the public will be allowed to come to the parks during a permitted rally or demonstration as long as they do not disrupt the event. The public will not have the same access to the parks, notably Curtis Hickson, which during the private events will be held for the RNC. Yes. Sadly enough, they had to pay a very high renting fee, so they don't have to share the park. And under the terms of the contract with the city, the convention has first dibs on Curtis Hickson and several other downtown parks for social events during the convention. You know, I should switch to the Republican National Party. I always forgot to. I actually signed as a Democrat, but in reality, I'm actually a Cuban Human Rights Party activist, so I'm sorry. I don't want to be to either of them. But I'd love to make love while talking to a lovely Republican. I'm just playing. Now, Witchy Tom was expecting a young chap to call him. Unfortunately, that little brother of the same mother is not calling yet. But anyway, I wanted to roll on to these Craigslist ad things. This is how I entertain myself. Now, there's this lovely young lady, who I will not mention her, who did have something that is true. She reprimanded me because I really had no right on my former video that I put on YouTube named Witchy Tom. Witchy Tom, and it was Craigslist perverts exposed. And I'm sorry, I'm really going to change that name for the next ones to Craigslist creeps exposed, because these guys were just creepy. Now look, let Witchy Tom read you. This is from Tampa Bay. Can actually be seen if it's on the same date. You go under Tampa Bay Craigslist, casual encounters. Now, God help you if you have a sensitive imagination, because it says, I understand casual encounters may include adult contact, but holy shit, you have no idea what kind of adult contact it has, content rather. Now, you really don't want to see some of this stuff, and once you hit it, okay, look, this is one of my main guys. Sexy verse guy looking for hot TS M4T 24. This guy's looking for a tranny, people. And now look, I embrace anybody's sexuality. It doesn't affect me. It's their own business. I'm heterosexual. I like women. They're fucking beautiful. I think that people that have other inclinations or other sexual orientations, it's fucking awesome, people. Embrace it and love it. But please don't put such retarded shit on Craigslist where you have like your dingy wingy wangy wongy hanging out, or your I'm such the best thing since sliced bread. Like this guy, look. If you look it up, it's not really that hard. Anybody can type it out. But he says, like the title says, I'm not looking for a CD, parentheses crossdresser, or a guy. I'm looking for a hot TS. If that's what you want, or if that's you, no comma. I want to have some fun. Verse here, big muscles, nice cock, round ass. Stats, 6'2", 195, 7 inches. Email with pictures, stats, race not important. I mean, come on, dude. You're suffering from the poor thing called it's animalistic bestiality. And I'm going to, phrase this in a psychological term. The reason why I find it so offensive, the majority of, these posts that they put in these casual encounters, is that Western society has completely fallen by the wayside with this ethical and moral decline of just becoming rare beasts. Hunter S. Thompson wrote about this extensively, and various other writers, enormously, like Jane Austen quotes it so much in such a civilized way in things, for example, like Sense and Sensibility. 200 years ago, a guy would be considered a beast if he wanted to touch a woman's petticoat. Now a guy basically wants to throw online what they would consider magical typing that one can see illuminated. I don't know how the beautiful, wonderful soul, Jane Austen would write it. But, this perversion of stupidity just mind boggles me. You're literally telling somebody, it's like this. I don't value who the fuck you are. I don't care what kind of person you are. I just want to put my cock inside you, or in another case, I want to have your cock inside me, or whatever it be, whichever way the boat flows. But that's all you are. You're basically you're a walking dildo or a walking muff for my pleasure to stick in or be stuck in, and then afterwards I'm throwing you away like a tampon. Now look, people, you might embrace free love and you might embrace this, and guess what, people? Free love is bullshit. I mean, check it like this. Free love in its truest form when it was back in the 1960s meant having this beauty and appreciation for the human body and not constricting yourself to the ability to be passionate with people randomly. But I'm telling you, in the majority of the time, it just means you're being a skank. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not, and hey, I know people that are down with free love and who could listen to the program. This is not geared towards you. Geared towards Craigslist people, not towards my comrades that actually know what the meaning is, and those certain individuals, whether they be male or female, know who I'm talking to. But come on, people, I'm telling you now, the main thing is, and I'm getting people who are actually blowing up my Facebook kind of over this. Let me just see that they're not yelling at me. No reason to be. I think it might be past. Okay, yeah, nobody is yelling at me yet. Okay. I was actually worried about, the person who's trying to talk to me on it could be, the person that thinks that I would be talking about them, which I'm not, and I'm not going to say that person's name, but they know, at least they have a good concept of what free love is. But free love, people, has really been manipulated over, the last 40 years. I mean, the hippies were doing it just like, for example, there's this beautiful thing that Witchy Tom actually developed his name from, which is called the Rainbow Gathering, and, yeah, they have free love. Somebody bangs somebody and somebody has fun and so on and so forth. But whatever, it's all in fun play. But, dude, free love is kind of out the window now because, I mean, you've got AIDS, you've got herpes, you have so many strands of sexually transmitted diseases. For responsibility, as a single sexual person, okay, or sexually active person, you cannot fucking sleep around with everybody under the sun and then be taking that chance to give somebody else, a future sexual partner, a fucking STD. I mean, I don't care who the fuck you think you are. I mean, love is a free love, or free sexuality is a beautiful thing, but sleeping with 5 different people a week or more is just putting the general populace at fucking risk. And I mean, I, for one, would not be at all. I mean, and Witchy, unfortunately, has had recently maybe some bad experiences in a romantic realm. But, I mean, me personally, I will not sleep with somebody who sleeps with somebody else at all, or sleeps with multiple people. Because for me, Witchy Tom's just saying, it's just something that's fucked up because you're putting yourself out there, you're risking future partners, you're making it so if somebody has, for example, herpes, you can't tell if you have herpes or new strains of gonorrhea for months. Now, let's say you just have oral sex with people. Dude, you're going to fucking get it. I don't care who the fuck you are or how safe you are. If before you have every sexual partner, you actually get checked for STDs, you are eventually going to get a fucking STD that is going to make you impotent. That's going to give you a serious medical repercussions. That's going to give you serious future health problems that affect your lifespan. Let me use that key word. You can get STDs that affect your lifespan, meaning you die sooner. Have you anyone heard of HIV? I'm sorry to have to scream, but some people just don't fucking get it. HIV, and I have friends in Miami, okay? Now, some of them, naturally, people are going to presume a lot of them are homosexuals. Well, yeah, you know, a lot of my friends in Miami that are suffering from HIV or AIDS is because in the 80s they were not warned because, you know, for example, Ronald Reagan was warned in the early 1980s by a letter from the CDC that there was this new epidemic that had just popped up, long story short, in San Francisco. Some research or federal funding needed to be donated or done to this. And you know what he did? Well, it's for homosexuals. It's for fags, was, you know, his actual words. No, fuck him. He didn't say fuck him, but it was for fags. He didn't want to do anything. That was his literal wordage of what he said. Now, I'm not saying the former president is a devil, but for me, that's pretty fucking evil, that you just let people rot based on their sexuality, that you're just going to go ahead and just let them, you know, let them eat cake and Marie Antoinette bullshit. But a lot of these guys have had AIDS now for the better part of like 10, 20 years, and if you see how bad these people suffer every day, it's because they were never told. But guess what? That's what Witchy's trying to do right now. Witchy is not the prophet from Nebraska. But hey, people, anybody who's rolling on these things on Craigslist, which is the main reason Witchy is harping on this, and he doesn't like the Craigslist ads, don't try to just throw yourself out there and sleep with as many people as possible, because you know what? All you're doing is putting yourself in danger, others in danger, and hell, if you're cheating on somebody or trying to get people to be in relationships with you, you're fucking them over too, which means that you're causing a public menace, which means Witchy is mad. And I'll whoop your ass. I'm sorry, but Witchy is a wicked fire troll, and he'll beat you with a stick. He's known for hitting people with 2x4s. But that's the thing I'm just trying to illustrate. It's a real rare thing that people just don't want to accept in this day and age, that you can really hurt other people, and this insensitivity because of bestial, you know, primitive style physicality, sexual physicality, is the underappreciation of humans everywhere. You cannot underappreciate a human being. Everybody, even if you want to have a casual sexual encounter, hey, dickhead, next time let your brain cock deflate a little bit and appreciate the person who he or she is, and not just because you want to put your dick inside her. So Witchy wanted to clear up the air of why he's doing this little series on Craigslist perverts or creepos. I'm going to go with the word Craigslist creepos. That's why. Because you know what? People need to look at themselves really fucking well in the mirror, especially if, like this jackass I keep talking about, he's taking a picture of himself in the mirror. Take a good look at yourself, a moral inventory, and say to yourself, what kind of person am I? You know, and where am I going with this? Witchy just mad. But he's glad that some people might have stuck in for Witchy madness. But now Witchy's rolling on to a different topic. Unfortunately, Witchy's one supposed guess, Witchy's sad. And Witchy's actually typing this out. Witchy's sad. // you know call. And I'm going to put period, Witchy cry. And then in serious talk, I'm actually going to tell her, and I put it on the air. Okay, now, I want to see, I'm just curious if I can do this. I'm going to see if someone will tune in because I just want her to hear this because I'm live. I don't think she's going to be able to. And live, I want you to hear something. Please. Okay. So in any case, let me throw this on here. I'll see if she can actually hit it. I'm going to make sure the link works. Okay, Witchy only has 2 minutes left. Witchy's going to recap what Witchy was talking about before. He's going to say it slow. He's going to bang it out. So Witchy's coming out with this new concept of a show. Why is Witchy coming out with Witchy Tom Creeps on Craigslist? Witchy Tom was only doing it for one main reason. Witchy Tom does not like at all that in society, in American society, it's throughout the West right now, but since I'm English speaking first, Spanish speaking second, Latin language is thinking third, I'm addressing the English audience and the fact that, look, appreciate what the human body is. You start with you, appreciating yourself as a human person, then you can appreciate others. In modern society, things like artificial things like online dating, artificial things like, Craigslist, finding people to screw, artificial things like, classified ads have really taken the ability out of modern society of going on the street and having a pair of balls, or at least for the young, wonderful women folk, a head on their shoulder, and saying, hey, I would like to meet a person. I'd like to meet a person. Okay, let's get over what she was talking about the free love thing. At least you can go out and be a real person and say, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to meet a person. And I'm not going to sit on Match.com or eHarmony and all this, because things like that, things like the Craigslist ad, all these things are taking the bravery out of romance in modern society. They're taking the appreciation out of sensuality. They're taking the sensitivity to the passion and the ability of the beauty of the sexual experience of expression of one human to another, because every sexual experience is a beautiful encounter, and that's what Witchy is emphasizing on. There's a lack, there's a complete degradation in the beauty of human sexuality at the moment, because it's being turned into where it was like, filet mignon served at like the plaza in New York, to where it's some crappy 5-hour-old or 10-hour-old piece of fried chicken, at McDonald's. I mean, come on, people. Appreciate what the beauty of the human body is, And, hey, if you want to do what you want to do, embrace it. But remember, sexuality is something that needs to be loved. And Witchy's words of wisdom, which he's going to throw down real fast. Witchy only has 30 seconds left. Witchy wants you to be wise. Witchy wants you to be loved. Witchy wants you to know that you got to wear a glove. Witchy has to roll out now. Witchy appreciates you tuning in. Witchy will be on tomorrow night. Remember, live callers are welcome. Witchy is at 646-478-4906, or otherwise hit Witchy up at facebook.com/Witchy Tom. Witchy Tom be rolling out now, but we love you. Remember, Witchy Tom, because Witchy loves karma, but Witchy loves you more. Bouncing out now with some jams from the master of funk, Mr. Bob Marley. Goodbye.
Siento, no me puedo dominar, pues por ti lo que yo siento tiene gran fuerza animal. Alguien dijo que yo sueño cuando miro hacia el futuro, pero siempre te he querido, vida mía, te lo juro. Soy un hombre que ha luchado por llegar a su destino, y a mi lado tú has llegado, acompañándome al camino, y tomados de la mano nos iremos caminando por el camino que conduce a la ciudad de las luces, por el camino que conduce falta de cariño, donde todo el que ha querido ser allí correspondido, donde el que ha sido malvado ser allí rehabilitado, donde todos los que aman cantan, juegan y sonríen, y tomados de la mano nos iremos caminando por el camino que conduce a la ciudad de las luces, por el camino que conduce. Crecen grandes frutos en lugar de las espinas, donde no andan los brutos parados por las esquinas, donde no miran colores, ni la raza ni naciones, donde todos como un himno cantan miles de canciones, donde no vivan tiranos que me aprieten la garganta, donde todo el ser humano viva como Dios lo manda, y tomados de la mano nos iremos caminando por el camino que conduce a la ciudad de las luces, por el camino que conduce llegaré, linda ciudad de fantasía, sueño que tú vengas niñez, de norte a sur, de noche y día, por todas partes buscaré, linda ciudad de fantasía, sueño que tú vengas niñez, de norte a sur, de noche y día, por todas partes buscaré, que no me apriete la garganta, y donde todo el ser humano viva como Dios lo manda, todos tomados de la mano, linda ciudad de fantasía, sueño que tú vengas niñez, de norte a sur, de noche y día, por todas partes buscaré, linda ciudad de fantasía, sueño que tú vengas niñez, de norte a sur, de noche y día, por todas partes buscaré, linda ciudad de fantasía, sueño que tú vengas niñez, de norte a sur, de noche y día, por todas partes buscaré, linda ciudad de fantasía.